Sebastian Eppinger and Jessica Flores were two other kids rounded up in the sting.
It was my junior year, and I met this guy in my 6th period class. His name was Daniel Briggs, well, that's the name he was going by. I started hanging out with him at like break and lunch and all that.
I just remember him walking over to our group one day and asking if he could sit down with us. And of course I just said yeah, because anyone could sit with me. I don't judge.
He started asking me to get him some marijuana or any kind of drugs I can get him, and I was just like, no, I don't do that, I don't mess with that.
Right.
But he just kept bugging me, so eventually I was like, okay, sure, I'll take you to someone. So I took him to a friend I knew. He gave me the money, so I'm like, okay, here. And then the guy took it out and put it on his binder. And he was like, okay, just grab it off that and leave. I was like, okay, so I just grabbed it and put it in his hand. And he was like, okay, thanks, and he walked away.
He would ask me every day, every single day. He'd be like, hey, do you have this for me? Hey, do you have that? And I'd be like, I guess so. I just decided, okay, well, I guess I should bring some so I could make some money off of him.
He would always text me and be like, oh, can you bring me some tomorrow? I'm like, no, I don't have any at my house. I'm not a drug dealer. I don't have anything.
Did he seem like a student?
We'd step out of dance class.
And they would leave the door wide open because it gets sweaty in there. They'd be dancing in their booty shorts. Some of them would come outside and walk around occasionally. And I remember him looking over and just saying to our little group, he was like, damn, look at the ass on that one. She was probably 15 years old, so.
What was it like when the bust went down?
I was in my house sleeping. These gang unit cops, there's like 7 of them, came in my house and they had all these bulletproof vests on and everything. They picked me up out of my bed. They get up and they put me up against the wall and they started patting me down. But I was only wearing my underwear, so they pulled down my underwear, are you hiding any knives? I was like, I'm sleeping. I'm like, I don't sleep with a knife.
I was in my Algebra 2 class. All of a sudden, these huge officers with their vests on and the full gear and everything, they come in and they're like, oh, where's Jessica? And they grabbed me. They took me out the door. They pinned me to the wall, handcuffed me. The students were just staring at me. So I turned around and said, bye.
That was all over the news that night.
With a really bad headline.
Riverside County Sheriff's deputies have smashed an illegal drug ring operating out of 3 high schools in Temecula.
22 students were taken into custody.